Welcome to Derry Season 1, Episode 3, a moment that has left audiences asking the question on everyone's lips, was that the legendary Pennywise or something far more mysterious? Today, we're diving deep into that spine-chilling scene, breaking down everything the showrunners have teased about Pennywise's true identity, the timing of his introduction, and why the wait might be worth it.
I'll take all of you.
Episode 3 begins with a tense sequence in Derry Cemetery, where the young characters, Will, Lilly, Ronnie, and Rich, take matters into their own hands. Determined to prove the supernatural exists, they set out to photograph what they believe is it. Unlike previous episodes, which have given us glimpses of its terrifying shapeshifting abilities, the father in a pickle jar, the demon baby in Episode 1, this cemetery scene feels different. There's a sense of methodical daring, a calculated risk that these kids are taking. They're no longer passive witnesses to horror. They're hunters in a way, trying to capture proof, even if it means putting themselves directly in the monster's path. As the kids maneuver through the gravestones, the tension is palpable. Every shadow seems to breathe. Every rustle of leaves feels like a whisper from the beyond. The stakes are high because it has already shown that it's not just a monster. It's a manipulator, a predator that thrives on fear. By the time they snap the photos and escape, viewers are left gripping their seats, wondering what exactly has been captured on film. When the final scene reveals the developed photographs, most show apparitions of friends chasing the children, ghostly echoes of their own fears. But one photo, the one taken by Will, shows a clown.
It's a clown.
A clown that, for the first time in this series, feels distinctly menacing. And here is where the debate begins. The showrunners Brad Caleb Kane and Jason Fuchs have been intentionally vague about this clown's identity. Speaking to Deadline, Kane initially admitted, "I don't know," when asked if this was Pennywise, while Fuchs speculated that it could be. Later, Kane confirmed that, yes, the clown is absolutely Pennywise. Yet he quickly followed that with, "We'll have to see what happens in the second half of the season." This deliberate ambiguity has sparked theories across fan forums. Is this truly Pennywise in his iconic form, or is this some earlier, incomplete manifestation of the entity? Could it even be a separate spirit, a precursor to the terrifying clown audiences know and fear from Stephen King's novels and the original films? It's important to consider the context of the series. Welcome to Derry is taking a very deliberate approach to Pennywise's introduction. Unlike many horror shows that reveal their monsters immediately, this series is building suspense over several episodes. Executive producers Andy and Barbara Muschietti have confirmed that Pennywise's proper debut is delayed until later in the 8-episode season, likely around Episode 5. Their reasoning is simple but smart. Horror thrives on unpredictability. By keeping Pennywise out of sight for the first few episodes, the show ensures that when he does appear, his presence is shocking, intense, and impossible to ignore. It's a classic less is more approach, reminiscent of the way Jaws teased the shark through brief glimpses before the climactic reveal. Barbara Muschietti elaborates on this strategy, emphasizing the importance of timing. She compares Pennywise to a shark. If you see him too much or too soon, he loses his power. By dosifying the monster, the showrunners maintain suspense and fear, ensuring that Pennywise's moments on screen hit harder and leave a lasting impact on audiences. Stephen King himself has hyped this careful reveal, describing Pennywise's upcoming introduction in Welcome to Derry as scary as hell. With such high praise and deliberate pacing, it's clear that the clown photographed in Episode 3 is just a piece of the larger puzzle.
Well, I'm Pennywise.
Let's return to that cemetery. There's a subtle brilliance in how the scene was crafted. On one level, it works as a classic horror setup. The kids enter a dark, isolated place with the promise of danger. They provoke the entity, and they capture evidence of its presence. On another level, the scene is about perception and fear. The photographs are crucial because they blur the line between imagination and reality. Most of the pictures reveal ghostly versions of their friends, emphasizing that it doesn't just prey on children physically, it manipulates what they see and how they interpret the world around them. Then there's the clown photo, which breaks the pattern. It's static, ominous, and entirely unambiguous in its terror. Yet, by withholding confirmation that this clown is the Pennywise we know, the showrunners are doing something clever. They're forcing viewers to engage with the narrative actively, to question what they see, and to anticipate the true reveal. This technique doesn't just increase suspense, it makes the eventual introduction of Pennywise far more satisfying. Fans have speculated endlessly about the identity of the cemetery clown. Some believe it is an early form of Pennywise, an entity still figuring out its preferred dancing clown guise. Others think it might be a separate spirit entirely, one that it uses to test the kids or sow confusion before the real Pennywise steps in. There's also a theory that the clown is symbolic, a representation of the children's fear manifesting in a form that is familiar, yet not fully defined. These ideas aren't mutually exclusive. Given its shape-shifting nature, it's entirely possible that the series is intentionally blending reality, memory, and fear to keep both the characters and the audience guessing. Another angle to consider is how the series is exploring Pennywise's origins. Welcome to Derry isn't just rehashing the familiar story, it's delving into why Pennywise repeatedly returns to the clown form. Early hints suggest that there's more depth to this entity than just a malevolent force. By gradually revealing Pennywise, the show allows for more nuanced storytelling, where the clown's choices, habits, and psychological tactics can be unpacked over time. This approach makes the eventual confrontation more layered, more terrifying, and, crucially, more impactful, because the audience has had time to internalize the stakes. From a storytelling perspective, delaying Pennywise's full introduction is pure genius. Horror relies on the unknown, and by keeping him mostly off-screen, the series ensures that every glimpse feels meaningful. Episode 3's clown photograph is a perfect example. Even without a full reveal, the image is enough to send chills down viewers' spines. The ambiguity fuels discussion, drives theories, and keeps audiences returning week after week. When Pennywise finally appears, the payoff will be massive, not just visually, but emotionally. By that point, viewers will be invested, tense, and primed for a confrontation that is both shocking and satisfying. It's worth noting that the show is also experimenting with how fear is experienced through media. In this age of spoilers, fan theories, and social media speculation, keeping Pennywise's identity ambiguous serves another function. It controls the narrative. It creates a shared tension, a communal suspense, where audiences are as uncertain as the kids on screen. This method not only heightens engagement, but makes the eventual reveals feel earned rather than arbitrary. To understand the impact of this strategy, it helps to compare it to the original It films. In the 2017 adaptation, Pennywise is introduced fairly quickly, and his terrifying presence dominates much of the narrative. While this worked beautifully on screen, it also limited the ability to build prolonged suspense in a serialized format. Welcome to Derry, by contrast, has the luxury of 8 episodes to layer tension, develop characters, and expand on the mythology of Derry itself. By stretching out Pennywise's reveal, the series doesn't just retell the story, it deepens it, creating a richer, more immersive experience for both new audiences and longtime fans. Beyond the mechanics of horror, the episode explores how fear affects the children psychologically. Will, Lilly, Ronnie, and Rich are no longer passive victims. They're actively confronting their fears, documenting them, and, in a sense, challenging the entity that haunts their town. The clown photograph is pivotal because it's the first tangible evidence that the supernatural is real. For the children, this moment is terrifying, but also empowering. For the audience, it's a moment of shared tension, the thrill of discovery, the anxiety of uncertainty, and the anticipation of what's to come. So what does all of this mean for the rest of the season? The first 3 episodes have established it as a shape-shifting, terrifying entity, but its true identity as Pennywise is being carefully safeguarded. As the series progresses, the clues will become clearer. Episode 5 is likely the official introduction, and by then, viewers can expect the full horror of Pennywise unleashed. Until that point, every ambiguous photograph, every shadowy figure, and every unexplained phenomenon in Derry serves to heighten suspense and keep audiences on edge. The showrunners' strategy is a masterclass in pacing. By teasing Pennywise without revealing him fully, they maintain an atmosphere of unpredictability. They respect the audience's intelligence, trusting that viewers will notice patterns, pick up on subtleties, and engage deeply with the narrative. This approach isn't just about scares, it's about storytelling, character development, and crafting a suspenseful arc that makes the eventual reveal both terrifying and narratively satisfying. In the end, the clown photographed in episode 3 of it, Welcome to Derry, may not give us all the answers. That's intentional. The series wants audiences to feel uncertainty, to speculate, and to sit with fear for longer than a single jump scare. But it also sets the stage for one of the most anticipated horror reveals in recent memory. Whether the clown is an early manifestation of Pennywise, a separate spirit, or a symbolic representation of fear, it's a crucial piece of the puzzle, a glimpse into the darkness that lurks beneath Derry's seemingly quiet streets.